Hi, everybody. This is Kari in my little back garden, a little front side garden. I'm facing south. This is dimmel onsdag, the dumbing down of the sound, the quieting on Wednesday in this 2020 Holy Week. And in the tradition, it talks about that the church bells would have wooden clappers, clapper mutes put on them, and probably, tied tight and that kind of thing, so they wouldn't resound. It's not a time for resounding sound. So what I decided to do was quiet my wind chime for the duration of the Holy Week. So then I won't hear this sound again until Sundag, Sunday. Another good way of quieting down your surroundings is to turn off your televisions and your radios and all the mechanical sound making things. It's already much, much quieter in Minneapolis since we are all under quarantine for this newly discovered virus that affects the lungs of our world tree body. There aren't the airplanes going by. There's not a lot of the construction, the freeway noise. You can't even... Things are louder that are important to be louder. Bird song and the wind in the trees itself. Wednesday on the 7-day week configuration that the Romans came up with, the 7 days that had representations of their gods on overlaid on the days of the week. And then when they met the Germanic lunisolar 13 moon for whatever days, type of different counting days people, they're like, nope, you have to be on a 7-day week or we won't trade with you, we won't deal with you. And they're like, all right, what do you got? And they're like, we've got the Sunday is male, Monday is female. And they're like, well, we can take Sunadag and Manidag, but they are female and male. And then they said, Tirsdag, they said, so Lunes Martes, Mars, who's your war god? And someone's like, I don't know, Tyr. And someone's like, yeah, that sounds good. So it's Tirsdag. Then it's Mercury. Who's your Mercury? What's your Mercury do again? Oh, he's the communicator, the mouth god, the god of the... Oh, Odin, because his name means the spirit. So the spirit, the breath, the inspiration, the the articulated reality, the poet god, the Onsus is the rune associated with this day, with this god. I don't know about Mercury because I haven't studied that culture, but it's interesting to have this be a quiet Odin's day, since silence is a thing that is a learned discipline. So this day also puts me in mind of talking about Odin's wife, Frigg, the beloved, whose hand shows us the way of being silent, even when we know things, to be silent. And those fingers are first this, Silence and listening. I heard girls coming down the street. I stayed quiet. I saw them. They're older girls, so I stay silent. I hear them more. I stay silent. They catch my eye. I catch their eye and I smile and stay silent. Hear them leave, and then I'm talking to you. So the wave of this whole brain thinking method that I've got for you is this quietening down. Hjåspedek aller helgarkinder. Quieten down, all you holy people. Mairi och minni, the biggest and the littlest. The all of us kin of Heimdall, just like Hinla told us, we're all related to everybody. Vil tuatek. So then what are you asking me? So it's Odinstag, quieting down, going through the full process of the mind, the communication, and then not uttering anything until you have something that's worthy of saying. If you've got something that's actually better than this deep, natural silence, it must be pretty important. This covering, you know, we're used to it in Minnesota because we've got all that Canadian wind coming through, you know, right across the plains. And we're all like, yeah, I feel ya. So we're used to this. We're also used to this sort of 6 foot radius that we talk about, or 2 yards between us. It's from your nose to the tip of your other finger. 6 foot radius. That's me giving you 2 yards and you giving me 2 yards. And I think that's what boundary setting in Norse tradition is modeled. Because if we give someone else 2 yards and they give us 2 yards, we have a respectful distance from each other wherein we can meet each other halfway. And that is the wisdom of Groa, one of the oldest mothers who spoke the poems. So you see these poems on Odinstag, they're the oldest ones are the mothers. Edda, whose name means great grandmother. And then Saga, who sits in her hall beneath the waterfall of space and time. These are the mouths we're listening to on this day, and in a holy week about losing a son. As a mother of sons, I will be thinking a lot about Mary, the mother of Jesus, and the 3 Marys who came to bind him in the linens. I'll be thinking about that stuff because that's what my ancestress Disir lineage thought about on these days. And I'll also think about who we used to call Uncle Olaf, who was thrown off of the mountain on Easter on a påskski. So I'll be thinking a lot, using up my ear time more than my head time. So I'm going to leave it there before we get to 10 minutes again. And I just appreciate you hanging out with me this Holy Week. Hjåspedek aller helgarkinder. We just quieten it all down. Till tomorrow.